Welcome back, die-hard fans. The clock is ticking, the stakes are sky high, and we are diving straight into the absolute madness surrounding James Rodriguez. The legendary captain of the Colombian national squad has set the soccer world on fire once again. Rumors are erupting back home about exactly where the iconic playmaker plans to hang up his cleats when his international crusade finally comes to an end. A massive leak hit the internet like a shockwave, instantly sending fans and sports media into an absolute frenzy. Right now, the 34-year-old maestro is locked in with Minnesota United over in the malls. But hold your breath. He hasn't even stepped onto the pitch for his official debut yet. The midfield superstar was sidelined for the opening two clashes against Cincinnati and Nashville, ultimately taken out by a grueling training injury just before kickoff. Front office insiders report that the Colombian powerhouse might finally unleash his magic when Minnesota travels up north to battle the Vancouver Whitecaps in their next primetime showdown. Yet, while everyone is holding their breath for his highly anticipated return, a jaw-dropping bombshell about his ultimate endgame has hijacked the internet. A viral clip just surfaced from a live broadcast featuring fellow Colombian standout Mauricio Gonzalez. He just inked a massive deal with Minnesota United and now shares the locker room with Rodriguez himself. Right in the middle of that stream, Gonzalez let slip the exact destination where the iconic midfielder plans to stage his grand final. Quote, "Give it about a year or a year and a half following the World Cup, maybe 6 months, and the veteran is touching down. Keep it on the down low," the explosive forward whispered to his audience, heavily hinting that Rodriguez is locking his sights on Deportes Tolima straight after the 2026 World Cup. That massive claim sent shockwaves across the sport, especially as there is zero official confirmation from either the player's camp or the team's front office. But make no mistake, Rodriguez's deep-rooted history with Tolima is legendary, and he has been caught repping their jersey more times than anyone can count. Even without ink on paper, his profound connection to the franchise is undeniable. His unbreakable bond with the city of Ibagué and Deportes Tolima has always been totally transparent, and thanks to this monumental leak, the writing is on the wall. It is incredibly obvious that finishing his legacy at Deportes Tolima is his ultimate goal, or time will tell. But brace yourselves, because we are living to a massive update on Luis Diaz at Bayern Munich. If you back our unstoppable winger, you absolutely have to watch this breakdown until the very last second and smash that share button to conquer the algorithm. The clock is ticking down to an absolute war. Bayern Munich and Lucho Diaz are about to clash with Atalanta in Italy for a high-stakes first leg showdown in the Champions League round of 16. The electric Colombian is a lock for the starting lineup, and UEFA just cornered him for an exclusive deep dive into his gritty origins. They demanded the truth about his current reign of terror and his ultimate championship dreams with the German Titans. In case you forgot, Lucho currently stands as Bayern's third most lethal offensive weapon this season. His devastating momentum has firmly cemented his status as an absolute monster on the pitch. He is arguably the most terrifying winger on the planet right now, already racking up 3 critical goals and an assist in this Champions League campaign alone. His explosive style breeds pure chaos for the opposition, and UEFA is putting him dead center in the spotlight. "I breathe this game," Diaz fired back. "I am living the absolute dream. Whether it is a brutal practice or a championship fight under the lights, my intensity never drops. I soak in every single second. Put the ball at my feet, and I become a lethal threat. I absolutely thrive on unleashing that sheer panic in the defense. That is the oxygen for every elite striker, knowing you are executing flawlessly to elevate your squad. It is an unbeatable rush. My confidence is through the absolute roof. It fuels my fire, and I embrace the spotlight," Lucho declared without hesitation. Statistically, this powerhouse boasts a staggering expected goals metric of 17.48. That is across 35 grueling battles for Bayern, which translates directly to his 20 spectacular strikes. It all boils down to that killer instinct in front of the net, a ruthless trait the Colombian considers his ultimate superpower. Mark your calendars, because the next blockbuster clash for Bayern drops this Tuesday, March 10th at exactly 3 in the afternoon, Colombian time. It is an all-out war between Atalanta and Bayern Munich. Lock into our broadcast and stand with Diaz as he carries the entire nation of Colombia on his shoulders in the Champions League. Bayern against Atalanta. A colossal matchup, Tuesday, March 10th, 3 in the afternoon Colombian time. Hold tight, because are diving headfirst into an explosive new scandal. Xavi Alonso just detonated a massive truth bomb, ruthlessly exposing that the only reason Lionel Messi did not make a heroic return to Barcelona falls entirely on the shoulders of the current club president. Brace for impact. Quote, given the gravity of Leo's legacy, the pure chaos his name brings to Barcelona, and the absolute mess of club elections, it is probably smarter if I just keep my mouth shut, right? But come on, we all know exactly where Messi's head is at. And let me make one thing crystal clear. The president is flat out lying to the world. We literally had Leo locked down and ready to strike. Back in January, fresh off conquering the World Cup, we immediately established a direct line of communication. We connected, and he personally guaranteed me he was absolutely burning with desire to return to his kingdom. That was January 23. The exact same year we dominated the league. The talks dragged through February and March. I told him straight up, the second you give me the green light, I am storming the president's office. On a tactical level, adding him back was an absolute no-brainer. Then the president steps into the arena. They start hashing out the numbers with his father, and bam, the contract was completely finalized. The league gave us the green light, but at the absolute last second, the president completely pulled the plug. Simply put, the boss sold us a massive lie. Naturally, I tried calling Leo in a panic, but he ghosted me. Because behind my back, the front office had already killed the deal. I instantly dialed his father, absolutely furious, telling him, George, this simply cannot be happening. George shot back, saying the president completely blocked it, and when I confronted the president, he point blank refused to pull the trigger. I lost my mind, screaming at him that we had been grinding on this deal for 5 brutal months. I told him, it is a done deal. Tactically, it is bulletproof. Financially, it makes total sense. Why sabotage this? We were headed to Munich. The stage was set for our very own Michael Jordan last dance. Everything was locked and loaded. Then the president dropped the bomb. His exact words, the kid wasn't coming back because it would trigger an all-out war. A power struggle the boss just couldn't for. That is the cold, hard truth. I'm not here to spin fairy tales. Let's get one thing crystal clear right now. I have absolutely zero desire to crawl back to Barcelona. Could not care less about joining Victor Font's ticket, despite what the rumor mill keeps churning out. I am done with all of it. As it stands right now, I am walking away from that club for good. I am never looking back. Look, I bled for that badge as a player, and I gave them my life from the dugout. We pulled that squad back from the brink of absolute collapse. We literally saved their season. We saved the entire organization. Now, I just want the raw facts out there. Leo got shut out for one simple reason. The top boss killed the deal. Don't blame the league's financial rules. Don't blame his dad holding out for a bigger payday. That is a straight-up lie, pure fiction. It was the president and his inner circle pulling the plug. They were terrified of losing control. They knew he held the ultimate influence, and they were dead scared he would completely strip away their authority. They literally called it an impending war. Quote unquote. That entire disaster nearly destroyed my friendship with him. We have finally cleared the air, and we are on solid ground again. But for a dark minute there, he genuinely believed I was part of the conspiracy. He thought I stabbed him in the back. Nothing could be further from the truth. My ultimate dream, my absolute obsession, was bringing him home. I will go to my grave believing he would still be tearing up the pitch today, burying goals and threading those impossible Liddell passes. He would be dominating, hands down, no question about it. The guy is gearing up to conquer another World Cup with the national team, for crying out loud. I would bet my life he would have set that legendary stadium on fire all over again. It was exactly what he wanted. It was what we both desperately craved. He sees the truth now. But man, there was a brutal stretch where we were completely cut off from each other. It was absolutely heartbreaking, and the blood is entirely on the hands of the suits currently running the show. So what happens next? You are going to have to point that microphone at him. We are stepping into highly personal territory there. And that is his story to tell. I am just laying out my side of the battlefield during that whole massive fallout. My lips are sealed past this point because it is a raw nerve for him. He handles his business his way. But I refuse to stay quiet about my own reality. The fans need to know that the official corporate narrative is absolute garbage.